Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. I also have another YouTube channel called Latina Diaspora, where I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos residing in the United States. The link to that channel is in the description. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay. Also, the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or just recently joined. I really appreciate your continued love and support. I also want to send a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, as well as those who allow me to enter into your devices, and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay. So tonight, we're going to have another episode of Open Discussion. For those of you who are not familiar, what I will do in open discussion is I will express an opinion regarding several different topics. And of course, the audience will have an opportunity to opine regarding each topic which I will discuss. Also, if the audience have anything that they wish for me to talk, I will do my best to comply. There might be some things where I may have limited knowledge and I will state so accordingly. Okay. Now, being that there are other content creators that are live tonight, I suspect I'm not going to have a lot of great deal of action during the live. Most of the action will be on the playback, but the show must go on, so to speak. And let me just state for the record, the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone at any time wishes to hit that link and join the panel and express their views regarding the topics that we will discuss, they may do so. As always, if I have never seen you before, if I've never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriately, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. Okay. Let's check and see if they, okay. So, the first topic I'm going to discuss tonight. Oh, by the way, before I forget, Happy New Year. Okay. I hope 2024 was a wonderful year. Okay. And of course, with 2020, every year, there are, the highlights and the lowlights. But I do hope that 2025 will be a much better year for each and one of you. So the first thing I'm going to discuss is what I call New Year, New Openings. Okay. Which means, first of all, it's a new year. Okay. And with that new year, we'll have many different opportunities, for which I hope to take advantage of, being with the openings. Okay. Of course, my goal is always to try to make improvements on this channel. There's certain individuals which I will definitely love to make their presence felt and share their knowledge with the members of the Uncommon Folk. And of course, I will do my best, to make that happen. Okay. As I alluded to on my last stream, part of the new openings is that I'm going to be doing a lot of reflection regarding some of the channels which I have been supporting. And basically, what I'm doing is if there's a channel that I'm supporting that it does not mesh well with the values that I'm trying to create, with all due respect, I will subscribe. It is nothing personal, okay? I don't have an issue with anyone. It's just that there are certain channels where it seems like they love chaos, they love to be wretched, and it seems like every time you hop on, it's the same old. People beefing, people going on, things like that. Now, once in a blue moon, I don't have a problem. In fact, once in a blue moon may even be a bit enjoyable. But when you have a platform when it's constantly bickering, going back and forth, constantly arguing and things like that, and calling each other every name but a child of God, um, it's a time for me to make my exit. And again, it's nothing personal against anyone. Okay, it's just I'm just making that decision. Okay, I'm trying to create an environment where people are able to express their point of views freely without fear of retribution. Okay, and of course, there's going to be times that we're going to have disagreements. That's perfectly excuse me, that's perfectly understandable. The key is, of course, excuse me, is to be agreeable when we disagree. Okay, and believe uh, I've been doing this for almost 3.5 years. So there have been numerous times when I have people which I respectfully disagree. Okay, it doesn't mean that their arguments or their point of view is not valid, or doesn't mean that my point of view is not valid. Good evening, Georgia. Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much for stopping by. So tonight we're having open discussion. Okay. Now, one thing I definitely want to do is I would like to have a discussion when it comes to the Creole community. So definitely, I'm gonna need to have. I would love to have my brother from another mother, Georgia, hop on to share his experiences as a Creole. And definitely, I would love to extend an invitation to Lady Creole Marmalade. She is a young YouTube content creator who's deeply knowledgeable when it comes to things of the Creole community and as far as Cajuns are concerned. Okay. Um, I would love to have her stop by and explain the difference between Creoles and Cajuns. Okay, that's something that a lot of people do not know, and I would definitely love to educate the uncommon folk with their expertise and their knowledge. So yes, I did. I see it, and I acknowledge your comment as well. Okay, um, so unfortunately, the only way that I have to contact her is basically leaving a comment um, on one of her content since um, she doesn't, as far as I can tell. Now, I see here we have a guest. So let me just state for the record that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to some of the views that people hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. So we're gonna bring y'all guests. Good evening, Happy New Year.
Well, once again, good evening from my laptop, and also Happy New Year to you too, Jose.
So how you been today?
Well, I've been doing very well. I've just been rocking on to some good old Christian metal music, as well as just ordinary Christian hard rock bands such as Petra, if you can recall who they were.
Oh yes, that's yeah. I think it was from the '80s, if I'm not mistaken.
They got formed in the early 70s, actually.
Okay, then I stand corrected.
It's all good, brother.
Okay.
But I'm going to drop something really quick here regarding the Creole and Cajun topic. So, first off, the Cajuns descend from the Acadians who were of French descent in what is now called the Nova Scotia region of Canada. But they flew all the way down to Louisiana in order to escape the persecution that was going on during that time. So they brought their influences, their unique cultural expressions, mingled with the already existing Creole culture that was already present there. And hey, that's where everything got started from there. So, yeah,
Now you mentioned that they faced persecution. Was it based on culture, or was it based on religion, or
all the
other
above.
things?
All the above.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that familiar, which is why I would love to have a discussion, and if Lady Creole Marmalade can hop on. I mean, unfortunately, uh, she doesn't list her email or Instagram, so the only way I can communicate is by actually putting a comment in any of her content.
Right. I can also say this though, but yeah. I mean, I get that she knows she's also a working, busy number of two amazing girls. So clearly, it's totally is a great thing that she's prioritizing all of that though. But yeah, because even on our previous live stream, I do give her a handful of credit for being even a lot more culturally Creole than me. Because, like I said, although it very much is a part of me that I full on embrace and that I do have some of the cultural expressions, but I give her far more credit for being even more culturally expressive with it and actually being from New Orleans
Hmm.
herself. But then again, but then again, it still is an honor that she does claim me as I claim her.
Now, as I recall, I think she appeared on one of Gigi's lives some time ago,
Yeah,
and she tried to further expand the information regarding the Creole community. And then I think she experiencing some difficulty from someone on the panel.
I did watch that live stream between her and Gigi and Moti at the time, and I don't really recall there being a particular conflict. All I do remember were just the three girls having a civil, open discussion among one another, and Creole lady. Well, she doesn't mind being called Dominique because that is her name. But Dominique was just saying is that she was just a bit surprised at how there was just a lot of internal conflicts and just a lot of beef going on.
Well, I don't know her as well as you do, so I don't know how she would feel me referring to her with by her government name. Okay, so that's why I refer to her as Lady Creole Marmalade.
Totally understandable, though. I mean, yeah, here and there, people even call me Jordan, which is what I'm fine with because that is my name. But then obviously, George is very similar sounding to my real name.
Yes,
That's all right. It's all good though, anyway.
I know it's just a matter of respect.
For sure.
Okay, because there's certain individuals that do not wish to be addressed by their government name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah, and we all have to be mindful of that.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I was talking about New Year, new opening. So basically, trying to embrace new opportunities as they come along,
Mhm.
discuss the interesting topics. Also, right now I'm doing some reflection regarding some of the channels which I'm supporting. There's already one channel that I unsubscribed to this week. I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want to want to create any controversy. It's just that you know I choose not to be involved for any platform where it's constantly bickering, constantly arguing, constant beeps. I mean, after a while, it gets boring after a while, and it's like it
Oh,
doesn't edify.
that's true. You could mention it in the private chat.
You know what? I'll mention to you in Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, so basically, I'm just. I mean, it's amazing how many channels I've subscribed to. I have basically lost count. I mean, and it's a challenge, to watch any of them. I mean, because look, I mean, I think I have like close to 200 channels I've subscribed to.
Understandable. I get that, though. I mean, this should be a time in which we all have to protect our peace because the worst prison that we can be in is an environment without peace. Because this should also be your safe space, Jose, not another battleground.
Yes. And one thing, and of course, I didn't make any New Year's resolutions. I just made one goal, not to repeat the mistakes of last year.
Same.
Okay. And one of the things is not opining regarding the beefs that other people did. I mean, I just a few months ago, I did a short stream regarding my impression regarding our friend Visions,
Hmm.
and even though it was not really, I wouldn't even call it a rebuke. It was just expressing an opinion. Okay, and as a result, um, the individual devoted a whole live stream about me and said,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. I get it. Yeah, we don't even have to rehash that. I get that.
yeah. I mean, even though I went out of my way not to be critical, even though I went out of my way to say, don't judge the person, partake of her content before you express a viewpoint, it was not well received.
I get it.
So going into this year, that's one mistake I endeavor to avoid. And at the same time, of course, making sure that people don't bring their ish to this platform.
Same.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, because we already know that you will permanently banish anybody without any kind of hesitation, such as what you did to Zacharias, who is
Okay,
permanently banished from your platform.
okay. The
So
issue, okay,
there you go. There you
okay. Well,
go.
since you brought it up, I mean, the issue with the sacrifice is this. First of all, um, he had made accusations which he made no attempt to substantiate. Okay, and he kept going on and on and on. He disrespected this platform.
Hmm.
Okay, and then when the last time he was on this platform, he called me to test regarding things that were not valid. Okay,
Hmm.
and one of them had to do with the fact that I had allowed Molado Vanguard on this platform. Okay, and I made perfectly clear the reason why he was allowed to be on this platform because he came to me respectfully.
That's
Anyone
true.
that comes, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I remember.
Anyone that comes here respectfully, I'm gonna allow to come on the platform. And unfortunately, I have to take um, one of my mods to task because that individual did not take it very well. the
Mm-hmm.
mulatto vanguard was on the platform.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, we had, we had a respectable dialogue. He expressed his point of view. I expressed my point of view. He recently did a video regarding uh, the term mulatto, and how people are using it, taking it as an offensive term.
Mm-hmm.
All I simply said was, I used to hold this belief. I no longer hold the belief, and that what there are mulattoes that are trying to create their own separate community, and I endorse that. Okay, and I acknowledge that I need to learn a great deal regarding mulattoes.
Yeah. All I'm just gonna say this also on when it comes to that issue is long story short, collectives are not monolithic. And so, yeah, you have some mulattoes who are cool with the term and then some who don't, though. But yes, a lot do attribute a lot of the historical baggage that does come along with the term. But guess what, Jose? Even the term black has a lot of historical baggage attached to it as well, but it is socially acceptable. So to accept one thing but reject the other thing, or just direct selective outreach towards one or the other, that's just hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because even the term black was once used to dehumanize the people in sub-Saharan Africa during the colonial periods.
Yes.
So why
And
is that word more acceptable when it was once used to dehumanize other human beings? Something to think about.
yes. Well,
So,
actually, I plan to do the stream regarding the term mulatto and give you what my perceived to be uh, certain myths and certain things that I have learned. Like I said, to me, the term mulatto is not an offensive term. Good evening, Don Armando.
I'm chilling. How you?
doing very well.
Happy New
Okay.
Year to
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, thank you very
Likewise.
much, and goodbye.
Yeah. Yo, so is this snowing in New York? Jose?
So, what's on your mind? Oh,
Nah, I'm just chilling. I was just asking if it's snowing in New York because here in Philadelphia it's actually snowing.
right now the temperature is 31 degrees and it's clear.
All right, yeah, because when I was actually outside, it was snowing a little bit, so I don't know if it sticked or not. So I just prepared. I just put some salt around my area, so therefore nobody will slip. So you have to do that as a homeowner.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So tonight we're
Yeah.
having another round of open discussion.
All right. So what was the top? Yeah, because I got my show currently on, but I just came in to you know show up and everything. So
I appreciate it. No, we was having discussion regarding the term mulatto.
I mean, if you actually look at it, right, mulatto. Certain people, I guess, they'll try to say that it's an offensive term because if you actually look at the real definition of it, it actually comes from the Spanish word of mule. So therefore, if you actually look at what the Spaniards went up and infused with the language on a mulatto and everything like that, they were actually putting people in the caste system like they were cattle. So certain people, I guess, they actually come up with the narrative that mulatto is an offensive term because of the old Spaniard way on how the Spaniards went up and they had this caste system. which was maybe less made out of animals or whatsoever.
Mhm.
So I could understand that aspect why certain people could say that mulatto is a offensive term. But then if you really look at it, when it's translated to I guess the English vernacular and everything like that, to each his own. Certain people will try to say, oh yeah, mulatto means that you're a half that you're half that you're half European and you're half black, right? But
Yes.
then but then if you really look at it, if a person who was actually half black was a black Native American and a European, technically, because I learned this from when I was in high school, they would actually call us Ladino. I mean, not Latino, Ladino.
Hmm.
But then again, when I was looking in the Spanish chart on how they call people and everything, I didn't see that. I didn't see that like in the chart, so I don't know where my high school teacher got that from.
Hmm.
But one thing I could actually say is that I'm a Caribbean Griff, and I'm proud of it.
Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. So
Hey,
I think what the situation
Hey,
that
Herbie.
it's a situation is it's a term that can be interpreted in different ways. Okay, it can be just simply as an identification as who you are, which is basically that you are the offspring of a European parent and an African parent, and then that considered to be a slur.
Mhm. You know what's funny? Joe, like, when I posted my results online and everything like that, my biggest haters, they were going around saying the worst crap ever, because they because
fake
they,
Dominican. Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you're only 1% Dominican. I'm like, and that means I still got ties to the land, and I'm
well,
or
you're
there was
clearly
or,
showing
or,
your
or,
Caribbean roots. Something
or,
to
or,
really go back to Fighter's stream and just be like, okay, I recently.
I'm like, to me, I'm not even going to justify that, because if I went up and I had to justify myself with a whole bunch of idiots that I went up and I actually showed where I was from and everything like that, and then on top of it, they want to go and say all the narratives and stuff. I got my DNA test. You could go around and upload it on whatsoever, but guess what? I got my evidence, and where their evidence at to say that I'm not who I say I am? Nothing, because it's all pure speculation and lies. So therefore, the only thing that you have to go around and say is that you don't have to go and talk to a liar and whosoever, because at the end of the day, they just want to go and tell a person, oh, what they're not and everything like that. When the fact is, the whole agenda is to lie on people and then make people hate you. So therefore, people who want to go and listen to these flawed individuals, I got nothing to say to them. And then you got some dude that wants to go around and act like he knows me just because you found my real name on whatever website, and then you want to post pictures of me and my wife and all that stuff. I mean, by the way, you could go around and make a whole live stream just mentioning my name and whatsoever. At the end of the day, you just made yourself look like, well, you know what you are already. So therefore, that's all. I ain't even got to say nothing. I mean,
Mhm.
let's be honest. We all, we all been, we all, we fighting, right? And they could say whatever they can about you, Jose, and whatsoever. What they doing? They're not affecting nothing, man. All with empty, all with empty lies and everything like that. And when the truth happens, it's like, oh, they want to go and make a joke that doesn't make any sense because you can't lie on me no more.
Okay, Cindy, this is the thing. This is the thing. When they started questioning your heritage, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind, so you're doing this so you can say, gotcha. I mean, it's ridiculous when you think about it, okay? It's just ridiculous when you tell me that I'm a softly light skinned Latino. Okay. Right.
No,
Okay,
no, no, no,
whatever,
no, no,
whatever.
but no, no, but you know what's funny? Throughout the 2 years that I've been dealing with these idiots and whatsoever, it's been to the point that I've actually went up and I just seen something. They just use that as a tactic when you know that you're in the right of something. And I've seen this with a lot of creators in TikTok or whatsoever. And it's to the point that, one of my homegirls, you might have talked to her. Her name is Anna. She went up and she
Okay.
actually exposed my haters into and he had her doxxed also because 9 times out of 10, the reason why this guy actually goes after women and says the whole narrative, oh, that they're a fake Dominican and whatsoever, is because half the women that he actually are going after on TikTok and on YouTube is women that actually rejected him and he's in his feelings. And I was actually talking to somebody about just about the creep. You gotta, what's funny, and you have to go in and sit back and analyze that. If you see that this guy's first instance is to make a whole bunch of sexual rumors about straight men who are actually married, and then on top of it, straight men who are actually beating the odds by living and just working and everything like that. And then on top of it, you talking about straight men that don't want nothing to do about you, nor talk to you or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, you know what's going on. And this is the and this is about and this is the bottom line. The bottom line is this: a person goes around and they walk and they go around and they say that they dog walk a person and everything like that. Knowing full well if it was that or if it was an actual situation, you would not actually face that person face to face. So therefore, you do all the evil narratives of what you're gonna do to a person and everything like that because of one reason. Because 9 times out of 10, people are not when you actually mention a person or mention people and stuff. A person with a brain or who actually studies psychology is going to see something that a lot of people are not going to see. That is, a real man is not going to go around and make a live stream about other men, and that's number one. And number two, there's a deflection of oneself. When there's a deflection of oneself, and then they're using language that you never used against them, but yet they want to go and drag your name with all salacious lies. Not only they do that to one person, they do that same type of targeting against against several people. You have to see a pattern, and this the pattern is a person is not a person is not sure about what they like, or if they see that a person rejects them or they see that a person is better than them, they actually try to slander a person with salacious lies. But yet, you have to answer this person who's making all this stuff. Have we ever met? Have and this is and this is all honesty. If it was don't, it's like out of three of us, we actually talk to each other. You and I, we actually met several times. We actually chilled at several parades, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the purpose of a person going around and they find out a little bit of information and they run around and they tell people lies,
Yeah.
or better yet, they want to go around and try to harass people's family members with the lie, or they tag people that they know full well that don't speak Spanish, that don't speak English, to tell a lie about me. This is how you know that certain people are just plain old stupid.
Well, remember, Donna Michael, last year, I was accused of being racist. I was accused of
Mm-hmm.
having an STD. I was accused
Mm-hmm.
for not practicing dental hygiene. I was accused of
Mm-hmm.
being broke. I was accused of being lonely. I was accused of being senile. Okay, I was accused of being light skinned, self-hating. You
No,
know,
no, 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 no. But you
Jojo.
know what was the icing on the cake, though? The icing on the
What?
cake was that the person went up and tried to say that you were gay and that you was doing all your stuff since the 1940s. Like like if you're 60, right? Or if you're in your
I'm
60s.
62. I'm 62.
Exactly. So therefore think about it. If you're gonna go on and make a stupid lie about that, at least get your facts straight, because my parents were born in the 1940s. And if they were alive, they'll be in the 80s or pushing 80. So what is it that they're gonna go around and say, oh yeah, that person was doing that stuff in the 1940s. So if a person was going around and doing all that stuff during the 1940s, when you know that it was World War II and everything like that, where people were actually going around and fighting for our freedoms, when would be the time that actual men is actually going to go on and be into all of that stuff? When it was actually looked down upon once upon a time in society. Let's be real. So
Okay.
therefore, a person can't even get their date straight.
Uh, but remember, Georgia was accused of being part of the January 6th insurrection. And I mean, I don't know who's speaking. So,
Or
yeah. But this is the thing. I've been here in these YouTube streets for almost 3.5 years. I have a reputation among most of the other content creators. Okay, the ones that still somewhat semi-normal, that their brain matter has not turned to mush. Okay, they know that basically I'm just an elderly person trying to create positive content.
Same. All you have to do is look at my page.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy that is that I support who will support me. I just try to make my own content about the martial arts and the hip hop and open topics that I try to be a safe space for people. But since other people want to go and paint the narrative and then link up with people that I don't really care for either, just because it's a personal reason why I got with that person, why I have a beef with the person. They want to go around and spin the narrative that they want to go and do this and do that whatsoever. I'm like, I'm just gonna say this. It's like if people want to go and spread false narratives and talk to themselves and then post their picture about me and everything like that, or better yet, go and mute, try to go on people's live streams, try to copy my voice, so therefore they can use it for AI. I got one thing which is coming for them. I mean, it's going to be a time that a lot of content creators are going to lawyer up, and they're not going to like that. And that's all I
Yeah.
got to say.
Mhm. Well, of course, there have been a couple individuals that I completely excommunicated from the channel. Unfortunately, like a rival.
Yeah.
think you have to mute yourself, Don.
Yeah, I know.
And we all know the reason why.
We do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wish the individual ill will. I know he has issues. Okay, part of it, mental. I mean, I'm not a trained therapist, so I cannot give a diagnosis. But I don't wish him any ill will. But I'm sorry. But he basically,
Is
uh,
permanently
yeah,
excommunicated from your platform. Even
yes,
though, because I do remember you saying like a month ago, Jose, that you could have your most trustworthy family members get down on their knees and beg for you to let Zach back onto your platform. And the answer is still going to be a no.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah,
I
you were
mean,
very adamant about having him never return, even if it's 20 years later.
it could be 100 years later. It'll still the answer will still be no.
So even if he, let's just say he was very repentant, he turned himself around, and 10 to 20 years has passed on by, still no.
No.
Even if he goes to the same church as you.
He could become a priest for all I know. Oh, I can't know. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm messing with you, Jose. You know that. You know me, man. I'm just being
All
cool.
right, but the thing is though, even though that you and Zacharias right there, one thing I've actually seen is that in the time and everything like that, that with my talks with Zacharias in the past, when there were certain things that was going against you, Don Jose, he was actually against it because he's like, yo, he don't tolerate. One thing that he says that he don't tolerate elder abuse or people who actually make fun of elder abuse. And even though that y'all might not like each other, he still respects you as a Catholic brother. So
That's very
that's
what?
humbling.
his take on it.
Jose. I mean,
Okay,
not Jose, but Don.
that
But that's very
see.
humbling. But yeah, like he said, Jose, you're still very adamant about him
Um, okay,
being
let me put it this way. It's more of a likelihood that I will be reunited with my ex-wife, who remarried, than to allow him back on the platform.
Yep, it definitely goes back to how adamant you are about having him never ever return, even if he is extremely repentant and will never ever do that again. And 20 years has passed by.
It could be 100 years, and the
Or
answer will still be, I mean, still be the same because look, I mean, first of all, you can only extend the olive branch so often, and then not be perceived. And believe me, I extend the olive branch to quite a few people. Okay, I extended it. I extended it to certain individuals. I'm not going to name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. Okay,
yeah,
one of them they try to have you excommunicated from this platform, George R. Also, another one that you have had some dealings with. Also, another individual. I extended olive branches to all of them. Okay, they just chose not to act on it.
Well, yeah, it's just because I think that some people are just going to forever have just, little personal issue with you. And it's all just personal though. But even if I had like a personal issue with somebody else, so I'm not really going to try to convince somebody else to be excommunicated just because of my own personal issue, because that just reflects the person's lack of emotional maturity if they're going to do so.
Yeah.
Please, I have a couple family
No,
members who don't even get along at all, though, but I still love them both dearly, though. But you got to remember this, though. There's actually three sides of the story: their side, the other side, and then the truth. The truth
mhm.
is both have been problematic in their own different ways. So I'm going to go for option 3, which is the truth.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna say, look, I extended olive branches to Magic. I expanded olive branches to The Future is Golden and The Ant Report. I cannot do anything else.
Well, I'm going to say is that everybody knows how to hit me up regardless of who they are. They would like to, say something though, or talk about something, then all they have to do is just go to my community tab, type down a comment.
Yeah.
Probably won't happen though, but more than welcome to just go to community tab,
Got you.
drop a comment.
If anything, I'm about to step down and do my show, but it was actually, but thank you for having me on your platform, Don Jose. And,
Well, thank you.
and you and me and Georgia, we got to talk behind the scenes about something, all right?
You know how to hit me up.
Of course.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Have a good evening. Yeah, I mean, look, which leads me to one point. Not going anywhere when I'm not welcome. Okay. I think I'm pretty much blessed to know that what I can read the room and know why I'm not walking in certain platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to say it here because basically, you know how certain people are extremely sensitive, and they have a connection for it if you say one slightly negative thing. But there's certain platforms I will not indulge in 2025.
Well, you'd have to tell me about who they are behind the scenes. I'm
I will
dead
tell you.
curious.
I will tell you. Believe me, I will tell you. I'm subscribed for one platform. Okay, so and I'm not. I don't have a problem. I'm subscribing.
Same here. I've had to unfollow a couple people too.
Yeah. But it was good this week to see a couple of people that we haven't seen in quite a while. Uh, Mainly the introvert Barriqua and our friend Gigi.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that Gigi and Ramon popped up. I remember.
Yes. And I'm also glad that they were able to be cordial, because I know they could be very passionate regarding their respective viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
So, and look, and I mean, and what I mentioned is, look, it's very time consuming to create content. Okay, whether
Yes.
you're doing videos or doing lives, it's time consuming. Okay, first of all, you have to brainstorm regarding what you want to discuss. Then you have to do your research. Then you have to create your content. Then you have to edit your content. That is time consuming.
That is true.
Okay, and if you have other responsibilities, whether you be married or you have children or you work during the day, uh, you know, you cannot devote 24/7 to your content.
That's not possible. No. That's why,
No.
when it comes to Creole Lady Marmalade, she just prioritizes her real-time activities and her job and her 2 daughters. So she is somebody who comes and goes, but for a very good reason, though.
Yes, because let me tell you something. I don't have children, but raising children, that's 24/7.
Yes, for a good 18 years.
Okay.
Even beyond that, too, though, because even if I were to pass away, though, I'm still going to feel responsible for my children. And good evening to good old Golden Goddess.
Yes, good
Howdy.
evening.
Hey, George. Hey, Jose. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing fine tonight. Thank you for very much for stopping by.
Yeah, we're
Of
doing very
course.
well.
What are we talking about?
We're just having open discussion.
Oh,
Not
okay.
a lot of stuff, though, just about what's going to be done differently this year. And then also just some little history of, like, I guess the Creoles and the Cajuns from earlier, though. Or just, yeah, let's just say signs of immaturity and content creators, such as trying to convince somebody else to excommunicate someone else from somewhere else. So just a variety of stuff.
Okay. Hey, Irby.
Hey, Irby. So, what's on your mind, Gigi?
Nothing much. I'm just relaxing, and I saw you was on, so I just thought I'd come say hi and see what was going on with y'all. What are we doing different in 2025 in regards
Well,
to
for
YouTube?
okay, for one thing, I'm going to disassociate from certain platforms where it's like it seems like there's nothing but arguing, going back and forth. I mean, look, you can do whatever you you can do whatever you want on your platform. Just don't bring your issues in general. I mean, last year I just made one um, reaction to one video of which one individual did not take it well, even though it was not even a mild rebuke, but devoted a whole stream towards me before it was privated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess that goes along with at least for me, like I'm just like friendly with people that I've been friendly with, but I definitely have learned lessons not just through my own experience, but just like, watching other content creators. Like the smaller your circle the better on YouTube because, it's YouTube and like just because you don't see it as a competition doesn't mean other people do. And so people will, yeah, backstab you for a storyline for content.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about some of the ish that was directed towards us, I mean, in a way, it's laughable when you think about it.
Yeah, I think that maybe the key is just dropping your content and going. You know what I mean? And like if
Yeah.
you are gonna hang out and talk, then you talk with people that you kind of know and you're already cool with or whatever, you know. Was it
Yeah.
Drake? No new friends. Who had that song? No new friends. I don't remember.
I don't even know. I've just been listening to a completely different kind of genre.
Oh no, actually, I think that was Coil Ray. My bad. But yeah. Well, Jose, are you still subscribed to a lot of Beef Sector content? Because is there fighting going on that I didn't know? That I don't. Who's fighting?
Uh, okay.
I don't.
Well, actually,
I've
so
been
okay.
I've been out of the loop of that too.
Mhm.
So basically, I'm just okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a little bit of beef now and then. I mean, in a way that's almost entertaining. But
Mhm.
when it's like every time you hop on, you turn on this like nonstop conflict. I mean, after a while, it gets kind of tiring. Okay, so I'm not specifying any particular content creators which I decided to unsubscribe because first of all, because people can be extremely sensitive nowadays. I mean,
Yeah, but then again, you're gonna let me know who the folks are on Discord
Oh, believe me, I will. I will. I will.
or even in the private chat, but you prefer Discord.
Let me just see if I can.
George
Just
or
give me a
once
moment.
that
What's going on?
I said George or once that tea.
Out of curiosity, yeah, let's see what
Yeah,
the is about. I will definitely check things out for investigative purposes.
of course.
Also, Jose, I do not know this person that you typed in the private chat. Probably for the best, to be quite honest.
Okay, you know what? This is okay.
Oh my gosh. So why can't you talk about it, Jose? I mean, that's what that channel does. They talk about YouTube conflict from a bunch of different sectors. That's what she does.
Okay, but you know why? First of all, okay, this is the thing. People tend to be thin skinned.
Mhm.
Okay? So I would rather not name people than name it, and the next thing you know it, then my name gets tossed into the soup, so to speak.
Well, yeah, she reviews different fights between different people on YouTube, and as of this past week, she's definitely been getting dragged. So I see you've been tuned into that. That's funny.
I
I mean,
am looking over her page, and I'm not going to say the name, but yeah, I don't know her.
She's
But
she's over there basically in the beef sector, but she came from the black sector. Yeah.
okay, and yeah, I see that she has a lot of live streams. She does definitely post on her community tab regularly. But yeah, I don't know her.
Jose, what channel is that? The only channel that you kind of watch that way and just catch up on all the recap through that channel, or do you
uh,
watch like?
there are other channels, like for example, okay, you know what? You see, there are different channels that they talk about bees, but to different degrees. Okay.
Mhm.
Now the difference. Okay, I'll say this: the difference, say, with Miss Mo compared to the other person is okay. Yeah, she'll talk about bees, but it's more like other things that she talks about.
Oops,
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Yeah. Miss Mo's from the black sector.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea, but yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah, she definitely has a sub account that's for sure is up there in the thousands, but that's not surprising because B for sure is going to draw a lot of attention. That's just common knowledge. But why has she talked about everybody on this panel before?
Oh no! I don't have any problems with her. I guess Jose just started watching a few channels over there, but I mean at the same time, Jose, it is kind of it's the beef sector, so that's like the point of the content. You know what I mean? And so sometimes with that type of content, you do have to just like sometimes I'll check out, especially when things get super dark. Um, and then sometimes I'll check back in. It just depends. Like, but if you don't want to hear that type of stuff, a lot of negativity, a lot of toxic, a lot of crazy shit, then yeah, you'd probably just unsubscribe, because they always got wild stuff going on that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
frankly, I'm not even interested in really like watching that though. I mean, I just will just look at it very, very briefly though, but
That's
they for
kind of like
sure.
if you watch, like, let's say if you watch like trashy reality TV and stuff like that. It's like that, like Bad Girls Club, like that type of entertainment where it's just drama and stuff like that. And
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's not for
exactly what I was.
everybody, but a lot of women do like it, and gay men. That's really what the sector is mostly women and gay men.
Yeah, and I mean, I do know the other woman who I also typed in the private chat. I do know her. I don't watch her like that because for obvious reasons I'm not interested, and she wouldn't even like me anyway. So I don't want to really want to invest in her at all.
I watch
Yeah,
her channel.
Uh,
Hey, Boricua.
hey,
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 you guys.
man, is
Y-
it
y-
going,
y-
Ramon?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Good evening. How you
Little
doing
quiet.
tonight?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just that I was kind of making sure yesterday we were apparently I was having a little technical difficulty with the mic, but hopefully you can hear me better. Thank you,
Yes.
Jose, for letting me be on the panel. Giorgio, Gigi, you guys, how you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing
Doing
fine.
great.
I'm just relaxing. Earlier today, I went to a Three Kings luncheon, and I had a nice meal, and I enjoyed myself.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
Glad to hear that.
Yes.
Yep.
Of course, I'm disappointed with the lack of winter that we have here in New York, but hey, what can you do?
Don't start. You need to go to that place that I showed you last night. It's called Yukut in Russia, where the temperatures go all the way down to like -70. That's where you need to be.
Okay.
Or in
It's
or in
cold in Florida.
Antarctica, where it goes all the way down to like -95 or something. That's where you need to be.
Well, you know, this.
So
I
if
mean,
it's cold in Florida, you're telling me it's not cold in New York right now?
okay.
According to Jose, according to Jose, it's not. To him, it is like template weather to him. I mean, because I'm sure that you're dealing with winds. I have been to Florida around this time of the year, and sometimes there are these really cold winds
Yeah,
that blow really hard down there. So
yeah.
to Jose, that's nothing. To Jose, that's like just a little breeze because he's Mr. Freeze. That's why I call him that. Like
Yeah.
I can't with Jose when it comes to that. I mean, he's like pig in slop right now with all this cold. All of us are suffering, but Jose is like pig in slop.
First of all, it's 31 degrees outside, so it's not even
Look,
slightly chilly.
I could get pneumonia with that. I could get bronchitis with that.
Well, it's
I,
currently
I'm
50
not built
degrees.
like that. Uh-huh.
That's a little better for you.
Yeah, I mean, this morning it was also like in the it was like 40 degrees. It wasn't as bad as yesterday. It was in the 30s in the morning, and that's
Your
down
point,
here. We were expecting
your
a
point
polar.
being, your point being,
My point being is that it gets cold down here. You don't get to tell me that it doesn't get cold where you are at. You are closer to the Arctic, so you're closer to Buffalo, and I've seen videos of how Buffalo is right now.
I was gonna
Buffalo.
say, yeah, I follow somebody on here that's from up there, and she's always talking about getting snowed in and having to dig herself out, and it's bad up there, right?
Buffalo and
yeah,
Rochester.
it does. Yeah, it does get a
Polar
little
vortex.
snowy with the snow effect
Just
They've,
a
snow.
little snowy.
they've had
Big effect snow.
snowstorms.
But
Yeah,
yeah, worry about
Jose,
that.
you're always minimizing this shit. Having to deal with with this weather.
Yeah, you
You're
don't have to
always
worry about
minimizing it like it's nothing.
With blizzard and shit.
Yeah.
worry
Well,
about that.
uh, well, the good news that next week and there's a couple of days it will go down to the mid-20s, so it's getting a little better.
Cool. I can handle that because I've woken up to mornings that were 28 degrees Fahrenheit, but that's just typical of desert climates, very hot and very cold.
But,
I would be more scared of the summer in the desert. That looks crazy to me.
Yeah, 100 plus degree weather. But I will say this, Gigi, you wouldn't really struggle that much because it's would be pretty much dry heat, which isn't going to be the same as like the humid heat of Florida or anywhere in the South or the Midwest. So like if you walk outside and it's 90 degrees and it's just in the desert, it's a different kind of 90 degrees.
mhm.
So no, it's not really that bad, to be quite honest. No,
I just
not at
seen
all.
like videos of like the homeless people and how they got water stations and they're like dying out there. It looks bad.
So yes, if you're just going to stay put like that and you're just going to, yes, sleep there, that's a different
Yeah.
story though. You have to keep moving around and staying hydrated too. But it's
Mhm.
also even just as problematic when they're staying out in the cold around this time of year too. It's just as
Mhm.
bad. So this is why, yes, my home state of California tends to have like 1/3 of the American homeless population in. It's just because California has more ideal weather for homelessness. But yeah, Southern Nevada is just not going to really be too ideal for it because it gets too hot, but also too cold too.
Mhm.
But many of them still make it work anyway because yeah, we do have a noticeable homeless population out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even places like
Um,
New York, Detroit,
One thing
Chicago.
I am looking forward to. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I am definitely looking forward to is this summer when my lady come up to New York to visit me again.
So, are you guys long distance?
Jose's so random. It's
Well,
so funny.
well, considering she lives in the DR, yeah.
Well, no worries. Well, I mean, no worries. No, I mean, it's not a big deal though because look at it. Look at it. I mean, don't say her name, but I mean, you, Jose, and you, Gigi, know who I was talking to at first, and we had each other's private numbers.
Yes.
Wait,
Don't say
which one?
Well, don't say her name. Well, what do you mean? Which one? She was like the only one who I wanted to be with. She was the only one whom I was very
Irby,
romantically
are you?
interested in, wanted a life with. So, what do you
Okay,
mean?
okay.
All right, I'll just say her name in the chat. We were
No, I know who you're talking about.
Irby. Okay.
Passport Pro.
Irby.
Hey,
Irby calling
Jose,
you a
what you been
passport,
up
bro.
do I detect a little jealousy there?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
They come to Jose though. Jose don't go to them.
Yeah, they travel to the state for
no
him.
judgment, but
They come to the state.
no judgment, Jose. It's just please just keep the communication open, the honesty, and then where you two are going to go, and then you two may be able to get something going though, because yeah, that's what I was trying to do with somebody. But hey, we both peacefully ended it, but I could still reach out to her now if I wanted to, but I'd rather not.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, one thing I will say about my lady, she's very sweet, she's very attentive. One thing about Dominican women, they get jealous very easily.
Puerto Rican women too. White
Yeah,
women
that's
too. Black women too. Mixed women too. All women.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to mention the fact that I have an office wife. I mean, because they'd be like, "What?"
Okay. Be careful with that. Be careful
Jose,
with
you out here telling on yourself on YouTube.
that. You're self snitching, Jose. You're self snitching on that. You
Yeah,
have to be careful
yeah,
with the whole thing about having the office wife. We talked about it. Okay, maybe she's somebody who you just work with, and she's not your boss or something. But it can get complicated when the office wife or the office husband, the work husband is the boss or something like that. It can get complicated with that.
Well, first of all, she's not the boss. Number one, she doesn't even work in the same department I am.
Yeah, but
Okay.
do you guys share a human resource office? Is it the same human resources?
I mean, we do have the same. Okay, but it's purely platonic. And the thing
You
was,
get what I'm saying? You get what I'm getting at?
yeah. But you know what's the funny thing? But you know what's the funny thing about the whole thing? She approached me. I didn't even approach her.
Okay. That's the thing. That's not gonna matter. You can't get too friendly because maybe you say something as a joke and she takes it the wrong way, and there she goes straight to HR.
No,
That's
no.
what I'm saying. Going to get you in trouble. That's why I'm asking. That's
you're
why I'm
being
asking.
naughty, aren't you, Jose?
Yeah, don't get too gullible with these types.
No,
All
believe me, I know how to read the room. Believe me, I know.
right,
Okay.
all right.
Jose's very quick with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jose thinks he's slick, but you are self snitching on yourself. I'd be more worried about your girl getting a hold of the live stream.
I'm
Well,
glad
I
this could be a
mean,
Friday evening where we could all just laugh and make fun of each other.
look, let me tell you something. When I think of some of the stuff that's been said about me, I have to laugh. And it's from people that know jack about me. But hey, what can I say? It helps them to deal with the loneliness at night or the emptiness of their void. I don't know. Because unlike certain members of the circus, I actually have a life outside of YouTube.
No, as it should be. I mean, you don't see me online all the time. Yeah, because I have other things going on away from the
Yeah,
computer. So it's kind of how you and I grew up already, having a life away from social media because we didn't have it. We didn't have the social media when we were younger.
that's true.
Yeah.
But you know, and I do know how to enjoy myself. Like in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be attending a very fancy banquet.
Oh, very nice. All
Neat.
right. That's good. You're gonna be showing up there, suited and booted, with your cane, looking looking like a pimp.
You know, I use my cane as a walking stick now, and I dance with
Yeah,
it.
that's what you say. You use it as a walking stick, but you use that cane also to style. You strut with it.
True.
Yeah.
It's true, Jose.
But you know something. I remember this is a funny story that I share on Multi's platform. There was this banquet, okay,
Uh-huh.
and that there was this lady that she looked like she was like 1,000 years old,
Uh-huh.
and she was wearing this mini skirt leopard thing with boots on, looked like she was going clubbing other than going to a ball. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she asked me, how did she look like?
Yeah, the thing is that it's a tricky question. Somebody like somebody like that is like that, who is a little bit up in age, and they insist on dressing like that because they know that they look so sexy in those outfits. All right, it's a tricky question because you don't want to offend. You don't want to say that. You don't want to tell the truth. I mean, that might not be, that might not be such a great fit, but like you don't want to offend. You don't want to tell her the truth. But you say, okay, it looks good. It looks good. You are like,
Well, you know, okay, actually, this is what I said. This is what I said. I
uh-huh.
said,
What are you saying?
well, you can dress any way you like. It's just that I don't know. I don't think I would have worn that outfit that way. But hey, whatever floats your boat, by all means, go ahead.
Okay, okay, sounds fairly diplomatic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it. I mean, because I feel like I could be doing a favor to somebody by telling them, kind of like telling them the truth. But sometimes you can't. You can't. People get
No.
offended too easily. Yeah. Uh,
And I re-
but of course,
and I
like that.
remember and I remember this story that on the job when I did a home visit with a
Mhm.
client, and during the home visit, the female client started to hyperventilate. So I had to do one of these. Okay, lady, please calm down. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you. So I managed
Mhm.
to calm the client down. And just as we're getting ready to leave, she makes the statement: I need to get laid.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
Right?
I don't know what possessed me, but I actually said this with a straight face. I'm sorry, miss, but we cannot assist you in that area
Yeah.
because I'm sorry. No booty call is worth losing my job.
Right. Right.
Bad
Oh,
idea.
shoot.
And just as we walking off the floor, my coworker was telling me, "Well, you had your chance, but you didn't take advantage." I'm looking at him like, "Are you serious? I'm not risking my job for a booty call. There's too much booty out there. I mean, come on."
Ah, exactly. Uh, okay, that's a good response to it. That's a good answer. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Not with somebody that you're working with, not somebody that you are having to function professionally with. And we talked about it. We're living in a time where a lot of men just don't want to be around female coworkers because they feel like they're taking a risk. It has gotten so over the top with accusations and things like that, that a lot of men just don't want to work with women because they feel like they're taking a risk. And there are now women that are complaining because of it, because they feel like they're being marginalized and isolated from their male co-workers because they don't want to be around them. I mean, thankfully, I don't really have that problem
Okay.
because the women that I
Well,
work with are usually immigrant,
first of all,
middle-aged women. They
that's
don't care. Yeah, they're
that's
not. Uh-huh.
I had to build
Okay, you're kind of breaking up.
a
I
large
can't.
a large portion
Mhm.
of it is female.
Okay.
And I'm sure Gigi will want to opine on this one.
Mm-hmm.
That what I want to what?
Yeah, you
Okay,
were kind of
no, it's
breaking up.
just
We,
that
we couldn't hear you. Uh-huh.
yeah.
What'd you say,
Ramon
Jose?
was okay. Ramon was commenting about today that there are men that don't want to work up with women because of being fearful that they might be falsely accused of sexual harassment and other things. And I said, not all women are like this. Okay.
I
And
didn't say
that,
that.
and okay, I did not say that. I'm just repeating what you said.
Yeah.
Okay. And in my field, a large, I mean, I would say more than half of the people involved in my field are female.
Yeah. Right.
And you just have to learn how to keep it professional.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think
It's
that
something that
I
happened.
don't think that a lot of men are just like, oh my God, I don't want to work with women because of sexual harassment. I think that some men don't want to work with women in certain jobs, especially ones where they're gonna have to do the bulk of the load and still like, the chick get paid or whatever. So they want to work with other dudes that can, I guess hold their own more so. But for the most part, men do like working with women, like that.
Well, in my
Yeah, I don't really
department,
mind it though.
I'm the only guy. So it's like I have no choice.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, you're the man there. You're the rooster of the what is it called? The rooster of the pen.
That's what I was gonna say. If
Oh,
you,
yeah,
especially if you work with a bunch of women, geez, you have it good.
Yeah.
yeah, but all of them are either married or they have significant others. So it's no big deal with me.
All right. All right.
And
No,
and
and
one,
like I was saying, at my job in the department that I'm at, I'm also usually the only guy, usually. But the women that I work with, they're kind of like older. They're older with grown kids, and many of them are immigrants. So the mentality is not into like trying to get attention to themselves. And yeah, so I'm not worried about that. There was an instance, there was a situation a while back at my job where somebody did get fired for harassment. I got my doubts because I knew the guy and he was a good dude, family man, worked with other women all the time, and there was never ever any complaints about him. But there was this new coworker that came in, and not shortly after this one was accusing the coworker that we used to have ended up getting fired. So I have my doubts as to whether something did happen and all.
mhm.
Yeah, so I got
Well,
my doubts. I never knew the truth
see,
on that. But
in my case, not only I'm the only male in my department, I'm the oldest member of my department. So it's like everybody else is like in their 50s or 40s.
yeah, yeah. My coworker, the people that I co-work are in my age group, and so they're already a bit older. So there isn't that goofy that goofy stuff going on. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I assume, Jose, that some of them are old enough to be your sons and daughters, right?
yes.
Are you like a fatherly figure in the department?
Um,
You know,
I doubt it. I could be wrong though.
you never know, man. You never know unless you
I
ask.
mean, oh, look, I think, it. First of all, they all know that I am a union rep. Okay, so and let me tell you something. The issue is not so much dealing with management. The issue is not so even dealing with the staff. It's just dealing with fellow delegates that think that they have these delusions of grandeur, like everything has got to flow within. It's like no, and looks like we just lost Gigi.
Probably up to something that she has to attend to.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But so Ramon, when you gonna be doing any more content?
See, yeah, Jose. It's just that I was listening to a message. My bad. Um, I'm counting on doing something soon. Let's say what happens during this weekend. But yeah. I was thinking about doing something tonight, but tonight being Friday, I knew that you were gonna be on. Fighter's gonna be on, so you guys have the bigger audiences. So let's see what happens. I guess I'm gonna have to try and do that during the day, and possibly catch you guys when you're not necessarily doing live streams of your own. I didn't catch Juju's live stream because she does that like at midnight and shit. I can't do that. I can't do that. She does her live streams rather late at a time when I'm already in bed. Trying to get some sleep.
Well,
Yeah.
look, she did one on New Year's Eve, but then again, I was out. Okay, and I was out, and of course, my office wife was there, so and we was in the middle of Times Square, but indoors.
Hmm. Hmm. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
So
No,
you never envision yourself going to
no,
Times Square, New Year's Eve, braving the slightly chilly weather to see the ball drop.
no, 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 no. I mean, it's slightly chilly weather. It's chilly weather down here, and I'm in the south. That's chilly enough for me. When it goes down to the 40s or something like that, that's chilly enough for me.
Okay, but we
And
talk about
there is
say,
there is talk about us, us having to deal with a polar vortex down here. Hopefully, it's not too bad. We had it before. I hate it, but
oh,
we're gonna have to endure.
you lucky stiff you.
There is talk about us having to deal with a polar vortex. I mean, you can keep it. I mean, we don't need that down here. We don't like them. It's not just me. It's just that we're not built for that. We're
Well,
not built
explain to
for
me
that.
how come I don't get sick in the winter.
Well, I have to make sure to stay indoors because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick in in what remains of this winter.
First of all, you don't get sick because of cold. You get sick because of the germs that are out there.
Sure, sure. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna argue about that. I mean, I can't breathe the cold air because it doesn't do me any good, and it's not because of the germs. I mean, I have pretty good resistance when it comes to the germs. But okay, okay, whatever you say.
So I guess this is safe to assume that you will not join the polar bear club.
No, 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 no. Give me heat. Give me heat. I wanted to start warming up so I can be more comfortable. Yes, sir.
Well,
That's
think
how I
about
like.
it. When you go to the beach in the wintertime, you don't have to deal with the crowds.
What was that? No,
When
no
you go
having
to
to
the
deal with
beach, when you go to the beach in the wintertime, you don't have to deal with the crowds.
no, 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 no. I would rather have. I would rather go in the summer to a real beach, even if there are a few people. I can deal with that. I'll be fine.
Well, this summer I definitely plan to go to Orchard Beach
All right.
and see for myself.
Okay.
And I'll take pictures of the beach and post it on my community tab and see this is how Orchard Beach looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful,
Sure.
pristine, clean.
Now you're no, you're describing a place like Crash Boat or one of the beaches in the archipelago, the Puerto Rican archipelago, that are actually
Mhm.
clean, white sandy beaches, um, clear water. You can see the bottom as if the
I mean,
water is there. Mm-hmm.
you can do that in Orchard. You can all do that in Orchard Beach. You can do that in Brighton Beach. You can do that in Coney Island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Sure, sure, sure. Man, man, man.
And of course, we do have a slight mousy problem in New York.
Don't start. Don't start. You have possums. You have rats the size of possum. That you got rats that are so big that they walk slow. They don't even run anymore. They can't. They're so fat. Ugh,
Would you believe I only have seen one rat in Parkchester in all my life?
stop. Stop. You've seen one today
No, in my lifetime.
in your lifetime. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You expect me to believe that. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
you see squirrels,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
besides rats, they're more afraid of us than we are afraid of them.
Uh, I wouldn't bet on that, but if you say so, that's all right.
In fact, if you were to see a rat and you were to run towards them, they'll run to the opposite direction.
Okay. Okay. Oh man.
But
Well,
oh,
well,
but
Jose, I appreciate
yes.
you letting me be on your panel. I have to take my leave because I have to answer this message that I just got. So
Okay.
yeah. Let's talk again soon. Let's see when I can do another live stream. If I find a subject or something, I'll make sure to let you know. You know how I do.
Okay. Well, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any live streams this weekend.
Ah, all right, all right. In that case, we'll see what. Let's see what we can do. So,
Okay.
well, we're gonna talk again soon. Thanks for having me on your panel, as always. And you support me, and the least I can do is come by and show you some support and encourage you to keep doing your live streams, even
Okay.
though I have to plan around them. But I'm not mad. I can't hate you. You're consistent, and that's to
Well,
be commended.
well, well. Let me just say, you know, goodbye to the person that wants to make love to 20 skinny women who kitty have never been washed in their lifetime.
I wouldn't even go near them, but keep going.
Who wants to undergo a coloscopy every week for 5 years?
No.
Okay, who don't think that New York has a serious rat problem? Okay,
Okay.
the introvert Boricua.
Thank you, Jose. None of that is true. I wouldn't do that, but definitely, I appreciate you letting me be on your panel. We'll talk again soon. You have
All
a
right,
good
thank
night.
you very much. Have a good weekend. Good
All
night.
right, you too. You too. Thanks.
So, thank you. So, I'm just going to add a couple things, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Um, when it comes to the haters, what the haters hate, I mean, they're going to do whatever. They're going to paint their narratives, and really, I mean, you cannot control what they say, but you can control how you're going to respond. So the best thing to just when you're dealing with haters is just pay them no attention, okay? Because they feed off of that. Um, One thing I am open to is new suggestions regarding topics to talk about, ideas to talk about. Um, Hopefully, at some point, I can have someone like a co-host that we can go back and forth and we can discuss different things. So that would be great. Okay. Um, those are other things I'm going to talk about, like the situation with Congress, but I think I'm going to leave that for another time because people can react, act weird. But I am open to new suggestions. So by all means, those of you who follow me on Instagram, you can hit me up with a DM with any suggestion regarding topics for me to talk about. Um, I'm definitely going to try to limit the talk as far as politics because it gets a little messy after a while, and people don't always know how to engage um, in a mature way. But I will close by saying that I am truly humble by the amount of love that I've received from all of you in the past year. The fact that the channel has grown, you know, I've gained over 210 subs in 2024. Um, I know when I'm a small creator, and I know there are times when I do streams and it doesn't get a lot of views. One thing I continue to state that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I think as long as you look at it this way, be consistent, strive to provide the best content that you are able to produce, you're going to get positive results. So as always, a huge shout out to all those who appear in the chat and appear on the panel. Now, I will be doing my next live on Monday. I'm not sure what I will discuss, but you will know. And of course, I think 9:30 is a good time for me to get on live. First of all, because it's still early enough for people to get on, and plus, generally I try to keep my stream no more than 2 hours long because people do have other things to do. People do have lives. Okay, but in any case, I think this was a very good stream, and it went to a different direction, but it was okay. It was okay. I mean, the main thing is just, adapt as you see fit. And plus, my internet is acting up, so in any case, I think it's time for me to call them. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do that, we would be infected by the stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, and I just want to say good night, enjoy your weekend, take care, and peace.